Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole flock of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. And to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahai, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh. And his only God's son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah, not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshua, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders, great millstone, who teach well. For the apostles and elders of all Israel, were accepted or not. In a sense, they say, taste and tell the doctrine, pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. Shalom to the hot water well listening learning. You few sisters are listening learning. Coming to another lesson, the truth, facts, faith, and edification. And the day of edification, Lord, will us be edifying. So I titled this lesson, Who's in the land of Israel, Heathens or Israelites? But before I get into this, I want to play this clip from Democracy Now! From about 2 weeks ago, I think it is, dealing with say China Middle East deal, Iran and Saudi Arabia reestablish relations as U.S. watches from sidelines. Now, first off, to understand what's going on in the world's news, which is already written a 4 time ago for our learning in the scriptures. So to understand what's going on, the Lord had to give you the spirit to link all these things with prophecy. That's first and foremost. If you don't have the spirit from the Heavenly Father Yahweh through his only begotten Son, you will not understand what's going on. So this is a problem for America and Israel, for Iran and Saudi Arabia to reestablish relations. This is a problem for Iran and the land of Israel. So let me play this. Oh, let me turn this volume down. I just want to show this before I go into this lesson. So check this out.
In today's show, looking at a new agreement between Iran and Saudi Arabia to reestablish diplomatic relations after a 7-year rift. The deal was reached after 4 days of secret talks in Beijing in a sign of China's growing diplomatic power in the Middle East. As part of the deal, Iran and Saudi Arabia have agreed to reopen their embassies within 2 months. China's top diplomat Wang Yi called the agreement a victory for peace.
I
think this is a victory for dialogue, a victory for peace, offering significant good news for today's turbulent world.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres praised the deal, saying, quote, good neighborly relations between Iran and Saudi Arabia are essential for the stability of the Gulf region. The response in Washington was more muted. White House National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby said the Biden administration supports any effort to de-escalate tensions in the region, but he questioned if Iran is going to, quote, meet their obligations. Ali Shamkhani, the Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, spoke Friday in Beijing.
At the end of the talks, we reached a conclusion to start a new chapter after 7 years of breaking off relations between the Islamic Republic of Iran and Saudi Arabia. While considering the matters of the two countries and the security and futures to prevent meddling from extra-regional and Western states and consistent meddling of the Zionist regime in the region. We hope that this new chapter will compensate for the stagnation of relations that took place these last 7 years, and also leads to stability and security in the region, as well as the development and welfare of all its peoples.
We're joined right now by Trita Parsi, Executive Vice President.
So I just want to show that this is a problem for Babylon the Great, man. So let me go to this. So, as the title say, who's in the land of Israel? So these guys is fighting hard to say that they are the people of the Lord, man. Well, the Lord already had these things written in the scriptures that we can see who's in the land of Israel. Because the scripture clearly say that if the Israelites was in the land, there would be no war. There would be no weapons of war, no type of fighting. It would be peace. So just some precepts I want to hit real quick. This is Psalm 79:1. O power, the heathen are coming to that inheritance. The holy temple have they defiled. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. And now it said the holy temple have they defiled. These Edomites. Okay, first you had the Babylonians, which the Edomites was there when the Babylonians came in, right? The Edomites was there. They say, "Oh power, the heathen are coming to that inheritance. The holy temple have they defiled, they have laid Jerusalem on heaps." When you go to Obadiah 1:10, tell you that the Edomites was there when the Babylonians came and took down the temple. Well, to tell you in First Ezra 4:45 that the Edomites burned the temple. It say, "The dead bodies of thy servants have they given to be meat unto the fowls of heaven, the flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the earth. Their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them." So this happened. We're dealing with 70 AD. Okay, when the Edomites came in. This is Isaiah 1:7. It reads, "Your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. Your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence." In our presence right now, strangers devouring it. And it is overthrown, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. Just a few precepts. This is Ezekiel 7:1. You see, these devils act like we don't got the information, man. Well, we got the information right here in the scriptures. But it take the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah for you to believe this, to receive this. As Yahweh Shah said about John the Baptist, that he was Elijah. He said, if you can receive this, most can't. That's why I say many are called, but few are chosen. Now this a punishment for the wickedness foretold. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, "Also thou son of man, thus saith the Lord power unto the land of Israel." See, this is dealing with the land of Israel. And the end is come upon the four corners of the earth. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. And my eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thy abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord power, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. Now when you jump down, this is verse 20. It say, the temple profane. As for the beauty of his ornament, he set it in the majesty, but they made the images of their abominations. This what Israel did in the land of this was Israel did in the land of Jerusalem. In the land of Israel, it say, and of their detestable things therein, therefore have I set it far from them, and I will give it into the hand of the strangers. Isaiah 1:7 we just read. and I will give it into the hand of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil. Who is the wicked? The Edomites, so-called white man. Okay? Job 9:24 said the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. Well, he also was given our lot, our portion, our inheritance, let's say. Inheritance, land is inheritance. Is a now we're given to the hand of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it. What's going on in the land of Israel right now? What's that? Zephaniah 1? Is it Zechariah? A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod? What they doing over there? The biggest gay parade is over there in Tel Aviv, man. And I will give into the hand of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it. My face will I turn also from them. From who? From Israel. Right? When you read Hosea 5:15, the Lord said he will hide his face, and there's many other scriptures. He will hide his face from us until we acknowledge our offense. My face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place, Jerusalem. For the robbers shall enter into it and defile it. Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes. The city is full of violence. That's what's going on right now. The Palestinians against the Israelis, man. Right? They got what they call these man, these Islam temples over there, man. In the land of Israel, man. It said, make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes. The city is full of violence. And Jake did it too. But these devils is, hey, because it say right here, wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen. Who is the worst of the heathen? The so-called white man. Ezekiel 7:24, wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses. Like it say in Micah 2. And it say, I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease to my Israel, and their holy places shall be defiled. Because now we got the heathens over there, man. The Edomites, Ishmael, Elam over there. This is Ezekiel 35. This is Ezekiel 35:1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, as it tell you in Malachi 1. Esau said he will build. The Lord said, They shall build what I will throw down. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. You see, hold on. It say, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. In Matthew chapter 11, this is Matthew 11 and verse 12. Now the Lord, when the Pharisees and the Sadducees was asking the Messiah, Yahushua, about the kingdom of heaven, what did the Lord say? Let's read it. He said, the kingdom of heaven is within you, right? The kingdom of heaven is within you. So he was talking to Israelites, right? This is Matthew 11 and 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence. What kingdom of heaven is this talking about? It was talking about the Israelites, okay? We're talking about the spiritual realm where the Heavenly Father domain is. It was talking about the kingdom on earth, man. Okay, on earth as it is in heaven. It say, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. So who is the violent? Right here. Ezekiel 35:5. The Lord talking to the Edomites right here. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel. How? By the force of the sword. In the time of their calamity, in the time their iniquity had an end. So this goes perfectly with Matthew 11:12. Again, Matthew 11:12, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And they love blood, man. That's why they eat their steaks bloody raw. The so-called white man love blood. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth by. Sure, he's not talking about a mountain. It's talking about the rulership of the so-called white man. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth by, him that passeth out, and him that returneth. You see? And I will fill his mountain with his slain men, in thy hills, in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall thou fall, thou art slain with the sword. These hills and valleys and rivers is their places, their different governments, their rulerships. I will make thee perpetual desolation, and thy cities shall not return. See, Malachi 1. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast said, these two nations, the southern and northern kingdom, and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, do they not possess the land of Israel right now? Sure they do, the so-called white man. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of the hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them, like it said, with that Sirach 36, when I have judged thee. That's that Sirach 35. When he said, let them know thee as we have known thee. I think it is. Yeah, Sirach 36. So it say verse 12, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountain of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. And we was going to the Saturday camp. The cold thing is, the Lord gave the so-called white man the mouth to blaspheme. Okay? And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, and that I have heard all the blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountain of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Precept to go with that is Psalms. Let me get this. In Psalms, let's see. This is Psalm 71:10. It reads, for my enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together, saying, God hath forsaken him, persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. See, that's what they're saying. They are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Thus with your mouth have ye boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them, right? Which is also in Revelations 13, which I'm going to read. Matter of fact, let's read it now. In Revelation 13, it says this. The Lord gave him the mouth to do this, man. The Lord gave him the power to destroy the earth. Revelation 13:5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. To continue 42 months well in the land of Israel, man. And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against God, to blaspheme his name. We went into this that camp. They changed the name of the Lord, right? They created these vowel points called dots and dashes, right? They changed the name of the Lord, man, because the name of the Lord is dreadful among the heathen. As it's dreadful to 2/3 of Israel, it's dreadful to the heathen as well, man. Because 2/3 of Israel, hey, the name of Yahweh Shema Bashah terrifies them, man. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, which is his people, and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. Hold on. Matthew 11:12. Since the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. It was given, the Lord gave him, that was the power to take us down, man. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. See? So in Ezekiel 36:1, and that's why you got to have the spirit to understand what's going on, man. Michael Brown, Dr. Michael Brown, the vocab, and James White and them, they don't understand what's going on, man. Because they are carnal, man. The Lord ain't giving them the spirit. And then, man, I ain't gonna even go into that. I ain't gonna even go into that. Because this interview with this guy Sakari and them, and this guy asked him about he told him the floor was open to explain the circumcision. And bro said he don't got no comment, man. He said that ain't true. Hey, you supposed to be ready to prove all things, man. But anyway, Ezekiel 36:1. Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the words of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord power, because the enemy have said against you, aha, what old boy saying, coming to America, aha, thus saith the Lord power, because the enemy have said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. What's the ancient high places? Israel, man, Jerusalem, Samaria. Therefore, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate, the land of Israel, and swallowed you up on every side, that you might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen. The residue of the heathen. What the Lord said in Ezekiel 7, I'm going to bring the worst of the heathen, man. The Edomites, Amalek. And ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord power. Thus saith the Lord power to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes, into the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. So you got Amalek over there, you got Elam and Ishmael over there. It say, therefore thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, these Edomites, and against all Idumea, against all the Edomites, which have appointed my land in their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. See? Who's over there? Edomites, man. This is plain. A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. Now this is in Luke. This is Luke 21:20. So the same difference in Luke 19, man. About they shall cast a trench about us, right? And this is what Yahushua said before 70 AD. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. And who helped Titus and Vespasian to take down Jerusalem? You had a Jake, man, named Tyrus Beres Alexander, man. Here's Jake, man. They came out of Alexander, man. And they say he killed 50,000 of his own people in Alexander, man. Alexandria. In Egypt, man. Jake helped these Edomites take down Jake, man. which is always is that has always been a part of history. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein too. For these be the days of vengeance. Hold on. What? Matthew 11:12 said what? The kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent took it by force. Right? For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. See? Fulfilled well. Isaiah 36. Elias one was going into this last night, man. And the Apostle Rumlar, man. In Isaiah 36, man. Isaiah told Hezekiah what was going to go down, man. For these be the days of vengeance. Well, it happened with the Babylonians, but this is with the Edomites. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be a great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword. Who? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, who was in Jerusalem at the time. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Now, I just read in Revelation 13. Let's read it again. Revelation 13. It said the time of the Gentiles shall trot it down to the time of the Gentiles are fulfilled. So right here in verse 6, no, verse 5, it say, Revelation 13 and 5, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great words, speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. Let's get this. In Isaiah. So we know who's in the land of Israel, man. Because the 2 points I want to make right here. This is Isaiah 2 and 1. It's a God's universal reign. The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, said concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountains of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. The Lord's rulership, the Lord's kingdom, gonna be on, gonna control everything else, man. As it is, it's a on earth as it is in heaven. That Yahweh's kingdom on earth. And that's why when you read in Revelation 19, it say on his head were found many crowns, because he conquered all these nations. Oh, what's that? Revelation 13, it say the beast that had 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon the heads 10 crowns. The Lord come to get those crowns, man. Okay? The Lord come to take all the crowns off the heads of these Edomites and heathen nations, man. That's why I said on his head were many crowns. Because he coming forth to conquer. So it say, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house, the Lord's kingdom, shall be established in the top of the mountains over every other kingdom on earth. Ain't gonna be no other kingdoms. Okay, only the kingdom of Israel. Everybody that's gonna be servants, man. And shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. Because they tell you in Isaiah that our gates gonna be up continually, because these nations gonna bring tributaries to us forever, man. Tributaries and their daughters. And my people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. And ye shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords in the plowshares, and their spears in the pruning hooks. They say the same thing in Joel 3, but in reverse. Nations shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. See, ain't gonna be no more wars, man. When the Lord established his kingdom on heaven, his kingdom on earth. So why is there swords? Why is there still weapons of war in the land of Israel right now? Why is there still killing going on? Because that's not the kingdom of heaven. Because those are not the people in the land. Let me get this in Ezekiel 39. It said they shall beat their plowshares they shall beat their swords in the plowshares and their spears in the pruning hooks. These are tools used to produce food, man, to produce crops. When Joel 3, the Lord say, beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears. Because right now the Lord got them getting that military power together to create these missiles. But when the kingdom of heaven is established, ain't gonna be no more war, man. This is how we know just these verses alone, Isaiah 2, 1 through 4. It's also in Malachi 4, 1 through 4. Same thing as say in Isaiah 2. These verses and in Ezekiel 39, this is how we know the peoples in the land of Israel is not the people of the Lord, man. Even though we had Ezekiel 36, okay? It said the Edomites, the Idumeans control that land, man. In Ezekiel 39, in verse 8, it reads, behold, it is come, and it is done, saith the Lord power. This is the day whereof I have spoken. See, Isaiah 2. This when the Lord established his kingdom on earth. And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth and shall set on fire and burn the weapons. So this is how we know those are the people in the land of Israel right now, man. They got the Iron Dome. What do you need defense system for? Because World War III is brewing up, man. And now Iran and Saudi Arabia, hey, has reestablished, man, through China and Russia. It's a problem for America and Israel, man. And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth. This is talking about when we go back to the land of Israel, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, by the hand of Yahushua, man. Matter of fact, let me get this and come back to that. In Jeremiah 3 and 18, it reads this. It's Jeremiah 3 and 18. In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north. Where's the land of the north? We in it right now, North America, Babylon the Great, man. To the land that I have given for inheritance unto your fathers. See? So, when we go back into that land, this is what the Lord say. Ezekiel 39 and 9. And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, and the handstays and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years, so that they shall not take wood out of the field, neither cut down any of the forest, but they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those that spoil them. What is that? They shall spoil those that spoil them. In Isaiah 14, okay? Isaiah 14, 1 through 3. And they shall spoil them that spoiled them. They shall spoil those that spoiled them, and rob those that robbed them, saith Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh power. See? See? Hold on. Let's get this next one. It say, and it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto Gog a place there of graves in Israel, in the valley of passengers on the east of the sea, and it shall stop the noise of the passengers, and there shall they bury Gog and all his multitude. See, the Lord using Gog just for instruments to kill the rest of the Edomite or North America, Babylon the Great. And they shall call it the valley of Hamagog. In 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them. It say that they may cleanse the land. So you're gonna have workers. See right here, say, yeah, all the people of the land shall bury them, And it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified, said the Lord power. Who's going to be burying these bodies? Verse 14. And they shall sever out men of continual employment. Continual employment. Because it's our turn to reap the benefits. Yeah, it's going to be our turn. And they shall serve out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it after the end of 7 months shall they search. After burning up all the weapons, ain't gonna be no more war, but it's gonna be dead bodies over the four corners, man, of the earth, all through the land of Israel, man. Because Israel got to be cleansed out too with fire. That's why there's a problem for Iran to be reestablishing with Saudi Arabia, man. Because who's Iran? When you go to Ezekiel 38, who took down the ancient Babylonian Empire? The Medes and the Persians. Who's the Medes and the Persians? Iran and Russia today, right here. Ezekiel 38 and 5. Matter of fact, let's read one. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog. See, that's why I said in 39, Gog gonna be destroyed too. The Lord just using them to destroy North America. The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth. Hey, turn them back to that Soviet Union, that Soviet Union mentality, man, that Cold War state, that Cold War spirit, man. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy army, Jeremiah 59, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, handling missiles. It say Persia, which is Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmet, Gomer, and his bands in the house of Togarmah of the north quarter. That's Turkey, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thy guard unto them. And this is what we see going on, man. Russia is building up these other nations to get ready to battle with Babylon the Great, man. So I want to make some points on that. But these devils, man, they don't understand what's going on. They just ranting. And if they did understand, and if they can't bring the truth out, man, then the world would know that they are imposters, man. Everybody know they are imposters, man. The scriptures give us understanding of what's going on, man. There's heathens in the land of Israel. Those are not the people of the Lord. If it was, there would be no war over there, man. They over there is killing all day over there in Israel, man. Back and forth with murder and death. Bloodshed, man. The Lord said it. He's gonna, and he's, matter of fact, let me close with it. In Ezekiel 7, say he's gonna bring the worst of the heathen, man, to the land of Israel. The worst of the heathen is over there, man. This is Ezekiel 7:24. It reads, Wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses, and I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy places shall be defiled. See, the pomp that the Lord made to cease was Israel, man. He brought the worst of the heathen in the land of Israel, man. Okay? And their holy places shall be defiled. By who? The Edomites, Amalek, the so-called white man. That's what the Lord say. He's going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And until we go back into that land, he's going to be battling with these devils. Let's get this. Let's close with this. In Deuteronomy. Until we go back home, man. It's Deuteronomy 25 and 17. It reads, Therefore it shall be when the Lord thy power have given thee rest from all thine enemies round about in the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee for the inheritance, to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. It say until we go back into the land, we're gonna have to deal with these devils. We're gonna have to deal with Vocab Malone and James White and Michael Brown until we go back to the land, man. These devils gonna be here. But once we get the land back, Amalek, what it say that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, thou shalt not forget it. And you got these slow-bellied niggas like Snoop and Steve Harvey talking they tired of seeing slave movies and because they want to forget. The Lord said we're gonna always remember what these devils done to us, man. See, Deuteronomy 25 and 17. Salaki, that was Deuteronomy 25 and 19. Salaki. Deuteronomy 25 and 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way when you were come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way and smote the hindermost of thee. That's in Exodus 17. Start at verse 16. Even though there were feeble behind thee, when thou was faint and weary, and he who Amalek feared not God. They don't fear the Lord, man. That's why the Lord said, hey, he gonna when we get the land of Israel back, they will be blotted out, man, from under heaven, man. So the Lord wasn't edifying. You gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the bishop nails, a great millstone, real well, who teach well, but the apostles nails of all Israel, right to shut them not, and the sincere salutation to all the occupant pushing this truth and believing this truth, the full means of the earth, the entire world, waking up the whole elect. Shalom to the Agwath who are listening and learning. If your sisters are listening and learning. Hey, shalom to all the occupant Agwath tuning in. Yahba Shema Shah Brakatham. Shalom Zaquan, Yahba Shema Shah Brakatham. Hey, so until next time, I say shalom. Hey, stay prayed up. Stay prayed up, man. May Yahba Shema Shah continue to bless you in your houses. Wah, abba, abba.